Well, Isaac already made it. That's my excuse.
Is his up to date with the current map pool though? Is it?
True.
Is it?
Well, the thing is, the map pool now is so much worse for cannon rushes that we don't even really need guides. Like, when Isaac made it, there were so many maps that were insane for cannon rushes, but almost none of the maps, maybe the map makers learned their lessons. Like, there's just no space to make cannons next to the ramp, for example.
I'll make sure Starter cannon rushes you next time, okay?
Thank you. He has to do it eventually.
He has to.
The sooner he does it, the less afraid I'll be.
Oh god, but here we go, people. Finally, the players have conducted their vetoes and we are diving into our first semi-finals of the night. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the South Korean Terran, the ex-military Psystorm Gaming player. It is GuMiho.
And spawning in the bottom right, it's the Mexican Terran who's almost become a Korean Terran in his own regard. It is Psystorm Gaming's SpeCial. Alright, this opening was kind of crazy. I'm not sure if you were following the SEV movements on the map,
the middle,
but
yeah.
both players sent an SEV out right at the start of the game to proxy. And they went around each other, but SpeCial sent a second SEV. I'm guessing he was going for a 2x Reaper, and GuMiho scouted that one.
Yeah.
So as a reaction, SpeCial stopped going for the proxy, but GuMiho has committed to making a barracks, like, on his side of the map?
Yeah. Yep, just barely on his side of the map. Meanwhile, SpeCial is trying desperately to try and corner this SCV, and he will get the SCV in the end. Z. Oh my god. But I'm sure GuMiho is feeling pretty good about it, as in, you know, he denied any kind of proxy in the middle of the map. He forced SpeCial to throw down his own racks, and our first Reaper is on the way.
Yeah, I think that there was just some RNG there with the SCVs attacking each other, which is why they're saying Z, as in, like, somehow SpeCial's attacked first or something like that. But yeah, it looks like we're actually just gonna get into a pretty standard one base setup from both players.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this Rax is close enough where it can very easily float and go back into the main base from there. We even see GuMiho keeping his Reapers at home as well, you know, respecting the Reapers of SpeCial.
Yeah, I'm very curious why GuMiho actually made his barracks there. Maybe it was to fake the proxy if the SCV actually had committed into the main, and he already had an SCV on the map, so he figured he might as well use it since it's already off minerals, but definitely an interesting choice, and he's just going to make an additional Reaper on both sides, actually. SpeCial going for reacted Reapers.
Ooh, yeah, that they are. So we have continued Reaper production. And I'm a little, we'll see how this goes, especially for GuMiho, as again he's still getting his third Reaper, and Magfield is on the way. Yeah,
so this is from GuMiho usually how you play if you go for a 2x Reaper. As a transition, you go Magfield Cyclone, so then you can go into Bio or Mech, is what I've seen, but it looks like SpeCial's going to go for one of these committed pressures with 5 Reapers and 3 Hellions. That's quite common. And I'm not sure how Magfield lines up against that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all about whether SpeCial can actually snipe that Cyclone and dive on top of it. It's still well within his ability to do so. That's why I was a little bit concerned here for GuMiho, as he's also moving out into the middle of the map. Uh-oh. SpeCial is waiting for him! Okay. The Rack Scouts.
Yeah, and it looks like GuMiho's plan was to use the barracks for vision and maybe kill the depots with the Magfield, but since SpeCial's got so many units, GuMiho's going to actually have to go home.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Thankfully, GuMiho was able to scout all of that, so he's able to return back. We have a second Cyclone that's about to finish up, and just like that, SpeCial tries to dive on top of the Cyclone, but he cannot get it.
Yeah, and the second Cyclone comes out, it's going to get locked on the Hellion. The SCV building the CC will get picked off, but the Reapers go into the main. Let's see if they can actually get a bunch of worker damage.
Oh yeah, a couple of SCVs are getting picked off. Decent surround there by GuMiho, who's able to slow this down, and in the end, 3 SCVs will go down.
Yeah, and I think this looks pretty bad for GuMiho, sorry, for SpeCial, but his CC was so much faster since GuMiho committed to the Magfield that I'm not sure if it's that bad for him, but at the same time, 3 workers, not too much.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, 2 more Reapers sneak into the main base. Oh my god, 6 SCVs in total went down.
Yeah, and It's actually a huge deal. Oh, the Cyclones come in, but there's a tank and 2 Marines ready. Oh, but the mag field is going to mean the tank just evaporates, and the 2 Cyclones are getting so much damage done.
Wow, well worth it already, sniping the tank, forcing the SCVs off the line. Sure, especially he may have gotten the natural base faster, but the lock-on on the Marines, and now with 3 Cyclones, this is getting out of control.
Yeah, and the Banshee doesn't have Cloak, and mag field means that you do an insane amount of damage to armored units. They just evaporate. Wow.
GG. Oh my god, that was so unfortunate that SpeCial, you know, his tank was caught kind of out of position there, going to the low ground. Like, maybe there's a world where he sieges up in the high ground, but at the same time, GuMiho did have high ground vision, right, with that rack, so...
Exactly, yeah. So I'm not even sure what he could have done there. Maybe it was just a bad build lineup, where the mag field blind counters the heavy pressure like that, but... Yeah, definitely a crazy game.
Crazy indeed. Just like that, GuMiho takes a quick 1-0 lead in this series, and I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last we see of proxy Raxes and hyper-aggression from these players. It was something that I was talking about.
Exactly. Yeah,
diving into your series with SpeCial. Is that SpeCial, he's also the player to just throw in proxies in the middle of his series. Like, he doesn't
oh yeah,
care.
did you notice how I blind counted him in the first game and then I messed up? Yeah, I knew he was either gonna do proxy 2 racks, or I know that he really likes to play 2 or 3 racks Reaper in base, so he'll do it at home. And I thought it was most likely he would do one of those. So I blind counted it, but then I didn't pull workers early, so I lost. I should have just pulled workers with my first lings and I would have gotten the easiest win. So yeah, two big throws.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But here we go. Speaking of easy win, this player just got one here. Also representing Storm Gaming, the South Korean Terran, it is GuMiho.
And spawning in the top right, down 0-1 after a very, very strange early game, it is the Mexican Terran Storm Gaming's SpeCial. Yeah, and already a bit of a difference in builds here. GuMiho going for gas first, while SpeCial going for Rax first, so... I think that the consensus in this matchup is that gas first is almost out of fashion, but SpeCial, he's actually playing a blind counter to proxy Reaper, but GuMiho is not doing any of that.
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to call, especially because of how aggressive these players can be, especially based off of game 1, right? So I don't blame SpeCial for opening up like this, but unfortunately for him, like, GuMiho isn't going for a proxy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this build was popularized, I don't know if it was by time or if it was during his run in WCS, where he did take out Maru. This build was super popular back then as a blind counter to proxy Rax. And sometimes you can also get pressure on the other side, but it's going to be really hard versus a 1-base opening from GuMiho.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully SpeCial is able to overcome that and still make this close, you know, despite the builds lining up the way they have. Meanwhile, GuMiho dips in, confirms the racks here on top of the ramp, but doesn't actually go in further to count any gases or anything like that. So I guess he got everything he wanted.
I think that the reason is if you go further than the depot and they close it, you don't want to lose your SCV for free. Because in this matchup, the tiniest leads, like being a worker up, can be huge. Because imagine if it's 1-base versus 1-base, and GuMiho sees that, and then it's just, you know, SpeCial's up a worker. And that's almost like 5% more mining at this point, which is pretty huge.
So GuMiho playing it safe for the time being. Meanwhile, SpeCial's already moving out across the map with his first 2 Reapers. This is scouted by GuMiho.
Yeah, and the Reaper grenade is actually gonna... Oh, I don't know. I think GuMiho got the first shot, but there's a Hellion anyway, so... SpeCial will get pulled back. Oh, and one of the Reapers goes down.
Immediately does go down. Nice mine there by SpeCial. But as you said, GuMiho, that was a really nice bait and really nice unit movement there early on to be able to get that first shot in.
Yeah, this is just the problem with opening in base 2 racks against a safe opening. You just have the same or less units, which is really not what you want in a TvT, obviously. And oh, the dance is going to keep happening. Oh, the Reaper of GuMiho and the Hellion will get out, but SpeCial's going to probably cut him off from the Nationals, so we'll see if he catches these units.
Exactly. SpeCial in the end actually backs off for the time being, so GuMiho will be able to rotate back all the way home. And the game continues from here. CC already first for GuMiho. SpeCial only just now starting his.
Yeah, when there's this much of an early commitment, the CC is just so much later, so GuMiho is going to be in a really comfortable lead here. He's already got his Cyclone on the way.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen how hard a Cyclone can shut things like this down. I mean, especially he's still going to try and find some damage. He has to, right, because of the opener. But I don't know if he can.
Yeah, and the SCV's already pulled to repair the Hellions. SpeCial's going to try and come in here, but it's an even unit count from both sides, and GuMiho had a great concave. But the second Hellion shows up, and the Cyclone's not done just yet, so this is going to be the only window SpeCial has to get damage. He takes a bit of a unit lead, as only one Hellion's left, but the Cyclone's going to come back and push this back.
Yeah, the Cyclone comes out and shuts this down completely. SpeCial only has a single Reaper remaining. He cannot break into the natural, and oh my god, even that one Reaper gets picked off. GG!
Yeah, behind that SpeCial was, he had a medevac coming to drop Hellions into the main. So I think his plan was to go back, then drop Hellions, but instead he just had a medevac with one Hellion. Which is obviously not what you want.
Oh my god. Are we gonna finish before the PvP finishes? Is that GuMiho already has a 2-0 lead.
It's a best of 3 actually. It's not a best of 5.
Oh, did they agree to
That's what the admin said.
Oh.
He said that just a reminder that semi's a best of 3.
Oh, interesting. Wow. I wonder why they changed that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, my apologies. I missed that message, but yes, congratulations. Congratulations to GuMiho, because that's it. It was not a best of 5, it was a best of 3. So just like that, he's in the finals.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the other PvP is finished. Looks like no.
Wow. We're living in a world where this TvT ended before PvP. That's crazy. That's
yeah. I kind of expected the games to go like this, to be honest. Both of them known for their crazy aggression. They definitely could have been some long mech games, but this is more of what I was expecting.
Oh yeah. And that means that we are lucky enough to dive into the upper semis as well. Lobby has been made, and we are diving in mid-series. Apparently, this is the ace match.